We're going to stick with Brexit because as the negotiations progress, they're going to be scrutinised in detail by the public, MPs and experts from all sides of the debate. In Parliament, a special select committee has been set up to look in detail at the work being done by the government department working to exit the EU. Now, their first report was due to be published this week, but it's been delayed after a group of MPs reportedly walked out because, in their view, the tone of the report was too gloomy. Well, one of those MPs can join us now. She's the Conservative MP, Maria Caulfield, who joins us from Newhaven in her constituency. So, Maria, thanks for joining us. Maybe you could clarify, did you walk out of this meeting?
Well, I'll clarify the position that the committee has already published two reports, the first of which was late last year when we asked the government to produce a white paper around the renegotiations of the EU, and within a few days of the committee publishing that report, the government did in fact produce its white paper. Our second report has called for the rights of EU nationals in this country to be put on record and to be guaranteed, and we know that the Secretary of State David Davis has said that that's one of the first priorities of the government in its negotiations. So we have produced two reports already, both of which have seen action, and we're very proud of those. We have got a third report that's due out on Tuesday. It's embargoed till then. And that is looking at the white paper that has been produced and scrutinising that. So I can't comment on that report because it's embargoed until Tuesday.
Okay, but maybe you could clarify whether you walked out, because this is just the beginning, and if your committee can't agree on how to scrutinise the government, it doesn't bode well, does it?
Well, what I say about our committee, we have most of our meetings are in public, so people can watch those on the Parliament channel. They can come and attend those meetings as well, and they can read our reports and our evidence sessions, which are usually published and they're in the public domain. What I can't comment on is private meetings of the committee where we discuss and have our debates about before we produce our reports. The committee is made up of both Remain and Leave MPs who've come together and absolutely will hold the government to account to get the best possible deal for the British people. And so I can't comment on what happens in those private meetings, but I can confirm that our third report will be published on Tuesday.
Now, meanwhile, you've announced a series of roadshows in your constituency to see how constituents are feeling about Brexit. Are you concerned, as we've been discussing here, that people will be disappointed with the outcome of negotiations?
I don't think people will be disappointed. I mean, one of the key concerns in my constituency is the rights of EU nationals living here, and that's why I was very much committed and voted for in the last Select Committee report to urge the government to make a stand on that, independent of the stand on UK citizens living in the EU. So I've got, in my constituency, a very mixed constituency. I've got a big farming community, and obviously I'm going to be pushing to make sure that the British farming policy is in support of British farmers. I've got a big fishing community here in Newhaven. I've got a mixture of people in towns who are working in universities and education colleges, so who have very different needs. So there's very different needs across my constituency, and that's why I'm going to be holding this series of roadshows in different villages in town, so that people can come and see me, talk about their fears and concerns. I can feed those back to the Select Committee and raise those in Parliament and make sure the voice of people here in Lewes is heard.
OK, Maria Caulfield, thank you very much for joining us. Oh, it's interesting, Peter. Maria